Excuse me. Should be live. We are. All right. Kill the audio there. Go live here. I'm not streaming Pro Football Manager. I have no idea how to change that. Let me reach out to Chris. See, I don't think he's around, but we'll see. All right, so we are live. Camera's going to go on. We're going to come over here. And I don't have any. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I just asked Chris. I'm going to see if he can do it for me. Can I do it from here? No, that's the report button. That's the share button. That's chat settings. Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. I don't know how to change it, though. So I'm hoping. Oh, there he goes. He just responded to me. So I think he's going to hop in here and change it for me. Get that changed. There's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way for me to do it. I just don't know how. So I'll let Boss Man take care of it for me. Give it a second. And well, that is fun to watch. Sundays are for out of the park baseball, and then Bear. I agree, and I think that's part of the reason. You know what? I feel like I have just more. There's something about starting at 6 versus starting at 7 right now that I think works for me because the sun's still up and it's not dark yet. So once it gets dark, I get really, really tired on Sunday nights. So. Yeah, I think starting a little bit earlier works. There we go. It is now changed. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. I'll click that. I'll click this. And we are good to go. I am going to do all of my promotional stuff. So anyway, we were talking about you said ice cream is kind of your guilty pleasure. I mean, it's ice cream, man. It's everybody's guilty pleasure. That is, I mean, everyone loves ice cream. So I've been watching, I think I told you this not too long ago. I've been watching what are they called? Bushcrafters. Hey, Kodiak, how are you? My weekend is going okay. We had some really, really bad weather here yesterday. So, that kind of sucked. Like, you know, we had tornado sirens and stuff going off. So we all hung out in the basement. Thankfully, we have a finished basement, but we all hung out in the basement for a couple hours. And, yeah. How's yours? How's your weekend going? All right. I think I'm finally set up. Okay, we're good to go. So yeah, we were talking. I've been watching bushcrafters. You know, people that and they go out into the woods of Sweden or whatever, and they build cabins. You know, using axes and saws and stuff. And that's been taking up a lot of my time. Camera's not centered, but that's because it's the camera on my laptop. I'm super unprofessional. All right. Okay, we're good to go. So it is Monday, August 1st in our, I guess, first season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah, we're good. It's, you know, the sirens and stuff go off, and, you know, I don't necessarily worry about it, but my wife does. So, she herded all the kids downstairs. I had to carry the dog downstairs because she won't go down there on her own. And, we all just sort of hung out down there for a couple hours, and it was fine. Breeze, how are you, my man? So we are at August 1st. I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to watch Wednesday's video, but if not, we'll just go back and we'll do a quick recap of the trades that we made, and then we'll move forward. My hope is to get through the offseason here in this episode. So first trade was, I am doing well, my man. I am doing well. So the first trade was in June. We traded Pavin Smith, Dre Jameson, Zach Gallen, Ryan Nelson, and Zach Barnes to the Cardinals, getting Dakota Hudson, Joshua Baez, Juan Yepez, Freddie Pacheco, and Connor Thomas. I tried for a large amount of time to not include Gallen in the deal. I didn't want to give him up, but I could not do it. So we ended up giving up Smith and Gallen were really the only two players that I was concerned about in this. The other three are all relievers. We pick up Dakota Hudson. Not a ton of great stuff, but really good movement. 3 decent pitches, sinker, slider, extreme ground ball style pitcher. Joshua Baez, a high power 19-year-old. Juan Yepez, who seems to have leveled out a little bit, but a passable first baseman. Freddie Pacheco, a live arm reliever. And Connor Thomas, just some pitching depth. Those are a lot of old prospects. They weren't all the only real prospect I got out of the deal was Baez. The other ones aren't really prospects per se. The main part of the deal was moving Pavin Smith. Smith for Baez would have been fine, but I wanted Dakota Hudson, and so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so Gallen's also, I think, going to be getting more. Is he going to be getting more? I don't even remember. Yeah, a little bit more. But yeah, so that was the first deal we made. And then in July, we traded Joe Mantiply, Ryan Bliss, Josh Rojas, Slade Ciccone to the White Sox, getting Jake Berger, Caleb Freeman, and Eric Hernandez. Mantiply was a reliever we weren't going to get back, and Ciccone, 1.5 star, 2-star pitcher. The other Bliss is a 2-star shortstop, and Rojas is 28. So we got Berger back in return. Decent contact, good home run power. Caleb Freeman, could be a decent middle reliever, and Eric Hernandez, another prospect with some upside. And then we traded Nick Ahmed, Buddy Kennedy, Bryce Jarvis, Blake Walston, and Melanson to the Brewers, getting Eric Lauer, Ethan Small, Jefferson Cuero, and Jesus Parra. So Ahmed, this gets the contract. He was 7, almost 8 this year, and then 10 next year, as well as Melanson, who was, I think, 6 this year and next. Yep, 6 this year and next. Buddy Kennedy was a minor leaguer that we really didn't have a home for. Jarvis, decent enough, I guess, minor league pitching arm, and Walston was 21-year-old. They traded him already. So they then turned around and traded him to San Francisco. And we got Eric Lauer, 27-year-old, Ethan Small, 25-year-old, who's now hurt. So we'll see what that looks like. And then a couple of 19-year-olds, Jefferson Cuero, number 80 prospect in baseball with some high home run power potential, decent enough catcher ability, and Jesus Parra. So a lot of high power, high ceiling kind of guys. So those are the trades we made in July. And we're 47-54. If you like that, there's a guy on YouTube who runs a historical reenactment supply center. He has tutorials on cabin building, furniture building. That's actually interesting. Did I download the patch? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I downloaded the patch. I didn't want to. My A's series on my channel had gotten to the start of season 2, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to get to the draft pool without the patch, so I just waited for and it's the beta patch, so I don't have the Steam version, and it seems to work fine because I've now gone through. I got the draft pool in my A's series, and then in my offline Red Sox series, I've done a couple of drafts, and it seems to be okay. So I think we're all right. So that's where we are. Alec Thomas out for a couple of weeks. We get Christian Robinson back in 5 weeks from the restricted list. Hopefully the injury to Ethan Small isn't terrible. We have to move Caleb Freeman into... we'll put him in a setup role. I guess that's fine. Rest of our bullpen's not particularly good. So, yeah, you liked Correa in 22. I don't know how he is in 23. Me either. So we will see as we go forward. So it's August 1st, and we're just going to start simming because I do kind of want to get to the majority of the offseason here. So we're going to have to scramble through these next couple of months, I think. A couple of losses. Small's out for a month. Okay. Yeah, most of those bushcrafters that I watch, they're all based out of like... who do I want to call up? They're all, let's call up Tommy Henry. They're all based out of like Sweden and Finland. And the guy I was watching right before the video started up, or right before I started the live stream, I think he was in Russia, I think. You fired yours up after downloading Apache on the Steam version. Yeah, I got the early access, and I didn't want to wait the extra 3 days. I wanted to just start playing. So we went 6-2. Kelly with a couple of hits. Varsho Berger with a couple of hits. Lauer pitches well. Cool. Yeah, I don't know how many box scores I'm going to look at. I just kind of want to sim through these next couple of months. Guy in Ute is in Indiana by Fort Wayne. Okay. But that makes sense. I mean, I'm assuming he's doing, like, you say historical reenactments. I'm sure you're talking, like, 1800s, right? We're not going back into, like, the Stone Age and stuff, right? Berger, a couple more RBIs. Corbin Martin pitches well. But yeah, I found it super interesting. The one I'm watching now is like an hour and a half long. He dug this like 2-meter hole in the ground, and he's putting logs around it, and it just looks cool. It's all stuff I could never do. So we take 2 out of 3 from Colorado. We've won 3 out of 4. We won 4 out of 5. Christian Walker is back, so who's going to go down to the minors now? We have 3 first basemen that are essentially identical. I think Seth Beer goes to AAA for now, just given he's been the worst hitter on the team. So against righties, what are we missing? We're missing designated hitter. Do we go with... Yeah, we'll let Peralta get some time. He's pretty unhappy right now, which is to be expected. And we'll put Walker in as the DH against lefties. He's a Revolutionary War reenactor. Oh, okay, yeah. I have never played a game of Wordle or any version of any one of those games. Never. I never got involved in any of those trends. Like, I never did that. I never did, like, if you go way back in time with Facebook, like, I never did Farmville or any of that stuff. I don't know. Stuff just doesn't interest me. Baumgartner's out for 2 weeks. I kind of hope he gets hurt and retires. That would be ideal. Let's call up Kella. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here. So we've had a decent start to the month. That's what, 5-4? There's a loss. Cooper Hummel suffering from a finger strain. Moving along here in Colorado. Another loss, so 3 out of 4 we've lost now. So what did I want to do? I wanted to go here. Hang on just a second. I forgot to do one thing. I think most of you guys probably know that I have my own YouTube channel, but if anybody in here that doesn't, that's my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. I've got an Oakland A's playthrough going on over there. So yeah, we're gonna plow through this next month and a half. We'll check out the stats and league leaders and all that stuff, and we will move on to the off season. Good game for McCarthy. He's played really well since we called him up. He's up to 3.5 star, 4-star now, so he's actually gotten better since we called him up, and he's played really, really well. That's been a good move. today was an absolute garbage day for my Boston sports teams. Red Sox got absolutely trucked by the Blue Jays, and the Celtics lost to the Bucks. It was a pretty bad day. Send him down, call out Thomas back up, get him back in the lineup for sure. But what do we do? Peralta's going to come out. He's going to go to center. Varsho is going to go to right. And Luplow's going to go to DH. Thomas will move up here against lefties. Thomas, center. Jake McCarthy, right. Jordan Luplow, left. Do a little something like that. Oh, no, I forgot to. That's a good point. I was, the TCR. No, I didn't change the TCR, but what I did want to change, where do I want to, where am I going? Here. I wanted to change, what did I want to change? Where is it? Where is it? What the hell? Okay. I wanted to change the importance the game puts on stats versus ratings. Somebody online gave me a different kind of setting for everything, and now I can't remember where it is. Is it here? No. Now I can't remember where it is. I was looking at it in my other leagues, and now I can't find it. Thought it was right here. It's right. God, it's right in front of me. All right, so it was 45, 25, 20. I think that's right. 45, 25, 25. And yeah, I went over it like 3 times. All right, so hopefully that'll make trading a little more realistic, and the game will look at the player's stats versus. Yeah, thanks, Kodiak. I looked at it like 4 times before I finally clicked on it. Hopefully that will make trading a little more realistic when, if we're trying to trade a veteran who maybe he's having a pretty good year or something like that, but his ratings aren't great. So we'll see if that makes any difference. But as far as the TCR goes, no, I didn't change any of that. Left development the way it was. I contemplated simming these 2 months offline because this is going to be pretty boring given how bad we are. But maybe something will happen. Something interesting will happen between now and the end of the year, like Tommy Henry pitching back-to-back 7-inning outings in his first 3 big league starts. That's not bad. 19 strikeouts in 18 innings. I'll take it. 45, 30, 70. I don't know. You're asking me to do math? What did I put? It changed it. 45, 30, 25. There you go. 45, 30, 25, 5. There you go. All right. That should do it. Right? 45, 30, 25, 5. 20. 75. Jesus. Yeah, you're right. I'm not dumb. Like I can do simple math, but this is what happens when I try to rush. Anyway, 45, 30, 25. There we go. So ratings, current year stats, previous year stats, 2 years ago stats. Perfect. I think I just did that, but we'll do it again. All right. There we go. Now we can move forward. Another loss. Not a good week for us. We lost 4 out of 5. 11-10 in 10 innings. So we were down 5-0 after half an inning. We were up 8-7. Oof, that's a game. Varsho 3 hits, Luplow 3 hits. In home runs, Varsho hit his 18th. Corbin Martin doesn't make it out of the first. Nothing much to look at from a pitching perspective there. Everybody except for Alec Thomas and Walker get hits. Okay. Well, a win's a win, I guess. Another victory. So Sundays are good to us. We've won 3 games in a row on Sundays. Peralta, a couple of hits. Kelly with a home run. Davies pitches well. Not that we particularly care if Zach Davies pitches well, but it is what it is. See, I contemplated simming through these months because I figured it was going to be pretty ugly, but we're hanging in there. I mean, we're only 8 games under 500. We went 8-4 here. 3 hits for Thomas. 2 hits for Berger, 2 hits for Perdomo. Hudson gets the win. I made Luke Weaver my closer after taking him out of the rotation. He's doing okay there. Bumgartner's eligible to come off the DL. That's great. We'll send him on a rehab assignment because I don't need him. I don't really want him. Need him gone. I don't think that's going to happen. White Sox and Phillies before we get to the end of September. Or beginning of September, I should say. Roster expansion. Oof, yeah, pitching's been bad this month. It's 4 losses in a row. Wheels are falling off here a little bit, but that's okay. An 8-3 win. Ethan Small eligible to come off the DL. We'll put him on a rehab assignment too, and we'll just call him up at roster expansion. Marte, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. He's underperformed, man. Only hitting .268 on the season. 99 OPS plus. We may look to move Ketel Marte in the offseason. It's a possibility for sure. Hudson pitches well again. 2 more against the Phillies. Red Sox have been terrible, man. I watched yesterday the 2-1 loss in extra innings. I watched more of that game. I watched from like the second inning till the Sox couldn't score in the top of the 10th, and I knew they were going to blow it in the top of the inning, so I just shut it off, and of course they blew it. So yeah, I haven't. It's just been It's been terrible to watch, so I just haven't watched it. I found other things to occupy my time. So McCarthy's gotten better. I don't know who Junior Garcia is, but oh wow, okay. Well, there we go. We got a nice arm for next year to come out of the bullpen in Junior Garcia. That's nice to see. Corbin Carroll gets a little better. Cedeno, meh. Miles Jansen. We took him in the 11th round. He looks okay. Jordan Lawler, his eye dropped a little. Baez got a little worse, but at least we've got accurate scouting on him now, or at least what we think is accurate scouting. All right, so we got to call up 2 players. May as well be Small and Bumgartner, since we're gonna have to call them both up anyway. Let's put Small in the rotation for who? I'm gonna put him in there for Davies because I don't particularly care about Zach Davies. So Davies and Bumgartner will both just be long relief emergency starting pitching. I don't care about either of them. Well, that brings up an interesting question. Do you consider Bob Ryan, who's been a long-time sports reporter in Boston, made some comment on Twitter about how because it featured multiple pitchers, it wasn't a true no-hitter, it was an oddity. What do you guys think? Do you think that that's an actual no-hitter? I think it's a no-hitter. Phillies didn't have any hits. That makes it a no-hitter. Whether it's combined or not, to me, is irrelevant. They didn't get any hits. It's a no-hitter. But Bob Ryan thinks otherwise. He thinks it's an oddity. So what do you guys think? Berger with 3 hits. We win our first game of the month. Combined no-hitters are a real thing. No, the starting pitcher, of course, did not throw a no-hitter, but the team threw a no-hitter. It is a no-hitter. It goes in the record books as a no-hitter. I don't think the Baseball Hall of Fame, I don't think they separate, I don't think they have a separate list of combined no-hitters and single pitcher no-hitters. I could be wrong, but I think they just track the no-hitters. Right, it's like saying an inside the park home run doesn't count. If it's a home run, if he hits all 4 bases, it's a home run. Doesn't matter how he got there. A home run's a home run. So we win 2 in a row. We are now only 9 games under 500. Are we anywhere close to the playoffs? Yeah, we're 11 games out. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. It should go as a team, no hitter, no individual. Well, sure. You wouldn't, if he pitches 5 innings, you're not going to say that guy threw a no-hitter because he didn't. It was a combined no-hitter, but it absolutely, in my estimation, counts as a no-hitter and should be put in the MLB record books as a no-hitter because it was a no-hitter. And Bob Ryan's terrible. He's the worst of the worst. He's everything that everybody hates about sports writers. When things are going well, he finds reasons to bitch and complain. And when things are going poorly, he uses that to justify whatever he's pushing at that time. So Christian Robinson is back. We're going to send him to AAA for the rest of the season. I was going to bring up something else. We were talking about no-hitters. Oh, what was I thinking? I was going to ask you about something else. Random Task is absolutely right. It's, they get paid to have takes and, get clicks and things like that. But his argument was that it was not a no-hitter, which is weird because, they didn't get a hit. So, that to me is the definition of a no-hitter. So we win the first 3 of the year or the month and then lose our next 3. Lose our next 4. So the offseason's going to be interesting. We've got some money, but a lot of that I want to invest into scouting and development. You can see we've got about $17 million right now. That number will probably increase if we're able to move some of these other contracts. But a lot of that's going to go into scouting and development. So I don't know how much money we're going to have for free agents, but we should be able to get something done. When you were growing up, you had Angelo Cataldi, and your dad would listen to him in the morning, and every day you would arrive at school all annoyed because you had to listen to Yeah, I've been listening to sports talk radio. I'm 46. I've been listening to sports talk radio my whole life. Primarily in Boston because that's where that's where I grew up. And, it wasn't until I was, I don't know, in my 20s maybe, that I realized how ridiculous sports talk radio is. And it was probably later than that. It was after I moved out here to Chicago and I started listening to like ESPN 1000 and The Score and things like that. And it's just garbage, man. It's all garbage. The best part about sports talk radio are the interviews. When they get a national, beat writer, or when they get a national writer, or they get a beat writer for the opposing team, or somebody like that. Like that stuff I find interesting, but just listening to sports talk radio it just sucks the life out of you. It's just awful, all of it. Ugh. I don't remember the last time I turned on ESPN 1000 or The Score here in Chicago. It's just brutal, man. It's brutal. Oh, man, we are getting absolutely smoked this month. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 2-8 in our last 10. Hey, there's a big win. McCarthy has 4 hits. Berger has 4 RBIs. That's nice. How's he been doing with us? 233, 280, 378. 7 home runs, 35 knocked in. So the power's there. 35 RBIs in 48 games is a pretty solid pace, but that's terrible, so hopefully that picks up. Henry with 11 strikeouts in 7 innings. You like to see that. Yeah, even like the National, you didn't listen to hot takes growing up. Well, that's good. You shouldn't. Even the National shows are almost worse because they don't have a fan base to cater to. It's the people like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, who's the guy down in Florida, Dan Lebitard. Like they're awful. They're just awful. The guy in Kansas City, Jason Whitlock. Like they're just awful. The local, like it's always kind of the joke in Boston is that the guys on sports talk radio actually hate Boston sports because at least because they're just terrible to their local teams, but the national guys are the worst, absolutely the worst. And it started with Jim Rome, right? He was as bad as anybody for the longest time, and with his audience and the time that he was on the air and stuff. He was always on in the middle of the night and that sort of thing. It allowed him to get away with it. And yeah, they're just awful. Like it's like Jim Rome he was sort of that first, like, I don't know, Jim Rome. I feel like Jim Rome should be a part of Barstool because to me, he has that same attitude, that same sort of bro personality, which I just find thoroughly obnoxious. I literally have every single Barstool account blocked on my Twitter feed because I just find it repugnant for the most part. And Jim Rome started kind of, he was like at the forefront of that with the way he talked and the way he acted towards people, and it's just awful. It's just awful. He runs his mouth and, the whole Jim Everett thing from, 15 years ago or whatever. Like, that's the first time, you kind of, the things you say come back to haunt you, as he got tackled by Jim Everett live on his show. So, yeah, I find the whole thing awful. Not that the internet's any better, not that Twitter's any better, but at least with Twitter, you can block people that you don't like. And granted, that leads to a lot of us sort of living in that, echo chamber, hearing and listening to anything we want. Like Boston Bruins Twitter is one of the worst places in the world. Like the majority of people that are on Twitter that are Bruins fans apparently hate the team. And so I block most of that because I don't want to see it. But what I end up seeing then is just a bunch of people who love the Bruins. And, I love the Bruins and I love to watch them, but, the organization, the team, the front office, none of them are perfect. But but that's kind of what I've created for myself by blocking the people that don't share the same views as me. Yeah, Jim Everett going after Jim Rome. That was classic. Call me Chris one more time. And if you do, you're probably gonna have to go to commercial. And yeah, that was great. It's if you want to run your mouth, run your mouth. Like, it's a free country, freedom of speech. You say what you want. I have no problem with that. But you need to be prepared to deal with the repercussions of your actions. And if you're going to run your mouth, you better be prepared for somebody to come back at you. And, I guess that's one thing that Jim Rome did is he stood his ground and he looked Jim Everett right in the face and called him Chris. So, he stood his ground and that's great. But yeah, too many people are willing to argue free speech, and then when somebody comes at them, they claim that they're being canceled or they're being, whatever. So yeah, if you're gonna run your mouth, be prepared to deal with the consequences of running your mouth. Carson Kelly's out for a day. Player development. So we're 71-86. We're closing in on the end of the regular season. Dakota Hudson's been actually really good for us. 7-7 with a 3.79. Perdomo gets a little better. The bat's starting to come along as well. Still below average, but he's pretty good defensively. Alec Thomas gets better. Christian Robinson gets worse, which isn't much of a surprise given that he hasn't played for a year. Jordan Lawler got better. That's nice. We need to see that. Need him to continue to improve. Wander Franco wins the Batter of the Month in the AL. Freddie Freeman in the NL. Justin Verlander, 18-5 for Houston. Zach Gallen, the Pitcher of the Month in the National League. That hurts. All right, well, it is what it is. Zach Willeman is your Rookie of the Month in the AL and in the NL. Carmen Mlodzinski is your. So yeah, if any of you guys have never seen that, like I don't know, I know Random Task a little bit younger than me. Breeze is a lot younger than me. I don't know if you guys have never seen that, but go on YouTube and search Jim Rome and Jim Everett, and it was a live, talking head ESPN show. And Jim Rome had been calling Jim Everett, Chris Everett, in articles and in reports and things like that. And he had him on the show. And Jim Everett told him to call him Chris again, and he did. And he attacked him live on the air. It was pretty good stuff. All right, so we're almost done with the season. Thankfully, year one is almost out of the way, and we can get to year two. Let's see if we can stay under 90 losses for the year. 71-87, 71-88. So we need to win 2 of the last 3. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Nope. Well, that sucked. All right. 71-91? Is that where we're going to end up? Yep. 71-91 on the season. Let's, I guess, quickly take a look at our stats. We will sim through the postseason. If we start with pitching, which was our sore spot, right? I mean, our pitching is, we need to basically revamp the entire pitching staff, and I think we made some headway in that this season. I don't know how many of these players will be with us long term, 5, 6, 7 years down the road. But Dakota Hudson we picked up. Tommy Henry we called up, and he was actually okay. Well, I guess his FIP and his ERA were kind of right in line. The BABIP's a little high, but he didn't pitch terribly. Ethan Small we brought in. Eric Lauer we brought in. Caleb Freeman we brought in. Again, I don't know how many of these players will be with us long term, but I think we're better off from a pitching perspective now than we were when the season started. Anybody here is tradable, though, so we'll see what sorts of options. It wasn't staged. Jim Rome was... well, I shouldn't say it wasn't. I don't know. But remember, this was the mid-'90s, so, it wasn't, you didn't have... Social media wasn't a thing, and you just didn't have a lot of that stuff that you see now where you can't tell if something's real or not. So, I don't know. It could have been, but I tend to believe that it wasn't. So, anyway. So, yeah, our pitching staff, not very good. I think we're better off than we were at the beginning of the year, but still a long way to go. Offensively, we had some decent seasons out of some young players. Alec Thomas and Dalton Varsho both played pretty well, both put up over 2 WAR. Varsho gave us a little bit more pop than I anticipated, 23 home runs. Looks like he's going to be a decent, he's pretty good. I don't know, he's only 26, good defensively. If he can put up those types of numbers, we'll let him continue to play. Well, to be fair, Springer started out as a legit talk show, like Sally Jesse Raphael and what's his name? Who's the dude with the glasses? They were legit Donahue. They were legit talk shows for a while until they realized they could make more. The real world was reality TV, though. That's different. I think that's different than what you're talking about with Rome and with Everett. That wasn't reality TV. Springer started out. Right, yeah. And I knew he was the mayor of something. And WWE, I mean, WWE's been popular for 40 years. I don't know that necessarily counts. But yeah, if that something like that happened today, you would question it. But back then, I don't think there was anything fake about it. But anyway, I don't know. Marte is, I don't know. Is he a trade option? I mean, I guess we'll see what's available for him. And he wasn't awful. 12 home runs, 64 knocked in, at 45 doubles, played almost every day. 283, 354, 436. Average was a little light. And he's decent enough at second base. I don't know. I mean, he's signed to a reasonable contract, but that is long term. I mean, that takes him till he's 35, 36. So that's an option. But yeah, I mean, we didn't have a 300 hitter. Nobody with a 500 slugging, nobody with 400 on base percentage. So we have room to grow there as well. From a prospect perspective, nope, that's not where I wanted to go. Corbin Carroll, 288, 365, 426 in double A ball. He's gonna probably start next season in triple A. Jordan Lawler, we already looked at, had Cuero do. After we picked him up, hit 296, 358, 541 in A ball as a 19-year-old catcher. That's really nice. Luis Frias, yeah, those guys aren't really prospects at 24, 25 years old. Baez, how did he end up? 263, 363, 469 in rookie ball. We'll see. He's only 19. So, all right. Well, let's... excuse me. I'm going to sit up. Let's start to sim through the postseason, I guess. Let's look at this first. Let's look at statistics. So, American League leaders... Luis Arraez, 352 average. Shohei Ohtani, 50 home runs, 141 RBIs for Shohei. Arraez, 400 on base percentage. Kyle Tucker, 628 slugging, almost 1,000 OPS. Jose Ramirez are worth 7.5 WAR. 206 hits for Bobichette. Kyle Tucker, 132 runs. JD Martinez, 47 doubles. Wander Franco, 9 triples. Nate Lau struck out. Is it Lau or Low? I don't know. Because you've got Nate Lau, and then you've got 2 Lows on Tampa, and one of them is Low and one of them is Lau. So I don't know. We're going to call him Nate Lau. 220 strikeouts. Mondesi, 45 stolen bases. Gallo, 132 walks. Wow. That's pretty good. 6 WAR for Joey Gallo. Pitching leaders in the AL, Sonny Gray, 16-8 for Sonny Gray, 3.36 ERA. Verlander led the league in wins. Pineda, 19 losses. Kitteridge, 40 saves. Bieber, 232 innings pitched. Garrett Cole, 6 WAR. Bieber struck out almost 300. Dylan Cease walked over 100. Kopech struck out 12 per 9. Cool. National League pitching leaders. Corbin Burns, 19-10 with a 2.40 ERA. He is so good in out of the park 22 and 23. So good. Damn. Stroman with 18 losses in Chicago. Not good. Kenley Jansen, 46 saves for the Braves. Burns, 8 WAR, 288 Ks, 228 innings pitched. You think he's going to win the Cy Young in the National League? Probably. Freddie Peralta, almost 12 Ks per 9. Peralta led the league in walks as well. Excuse me. Hunter Green gave up 39 home runs. 180 ERA plus. Damn. 26 of his... Wait a second. Hang on. Oh, never mind. I'm getting math confused. He had 29 decisions in his 34 starts. You just don't see that anymore. And then batting leaders in the NL. Soto 306. Rhys Hoskins 45 home runs, led the National League. That isn't something you see. Olsen with 123 RBIs. Soto led the NL in on-base, slugging, OPS, and WAR. He's likely your MVP. Led the league in and runs as well. Tommy Edman with 194 hits. Ozzie Albies 48 doubles. There's Marte, first time showing up on the list. David Peralta led the National League in triples with 7. Let's go. Ian Happ struck out 218 times. Edman 40 steals. Soto 157 walks. 183 OPS plus. 441 WOBA. He's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. All right, so we need to get up to the playoffs now. I don't need to see that. Playoff coverage, playoff tree. All right, so we got the Angels and the Guardians, the White Sox and the Rays in the American League wild card, Phillies and the Mets, Cardinals and the Brewers in the NL wild card, Astros, Twins, Dodgers, and Braves are your top 2 in each division or each league. Angels and Rays win. Check out the National League. Phillies and Brewers. I'm just going to do it like this. Angels up 2-0. Angels and Brewers. Angels, White Sox, Brewers, and Phillies all win their respective wild card matches. So we've got the Astros, the Angels, the White Sox, and the Twins. So you got interdivisional, which I guess makes sense in the division series, right? The Brewers and the Dodgers, the Phillies and the Braves. So it's 2 NL East teams, right? The Phillies or the Brewers are not in the East. Let's get to the next playoff round. Angels, White Sox, Braves, Dodgers, Angels, and White Sox up. All 4 series are 2-0. So American leagues are 3-0 Angels and White Sox, 2-2. Braves win. The Braves sweep. White Sox sweep. Angels sweep. And the Dodgers get knocked out, which is nice. Out of the park 22 is always the Dodgers winning in that first season. So you got the Angels and the White Sox in the AL, the Braves and the Brewers in the NL. So let's see who's going on to the World Series. Angels up 1-0. Angels up 2-0. Braves up 1. 1-1 in the National League. 3-0 in the AL. 3-1 now. Brewers up 2-1 in the NL. White Sox get down 3-0, win the next 2. So the Brewers are going to the World Series, and they will take on the Angels. So the Angels and the Brewers in the World Series. That would be fun. That would be a fun World Series. I'd be okay. I would have been okay, really, with any of these 3 teams making it. The Angels, the White Sox, or the Brewers. We saw the Braves last year, so I'm done with them. But I would have been fine with any of the other 3 teams. Brewers up 1-0. Yeah, Brewers' pitching staff is just so good. You no longer want to play in Arizona. Well, I don't think you have to worry about that, my man. So you are good. Tommy Malone's career ends at age 35. He posted Kodai Senga. We could take a run at Senga, but that would probably cost a lot. Excuse me. Ow. Don't ever try to hold in your sneeze. That hurt. Oops, not where I wanted to go. Yoda Kyoto. That's a name. All right, let's get to the end of the playoffs. Brewers are up 2-0. Yeah, the Brewers pitching staff is so good. Burns, Woodruff, Peralta. I mean, that top 3 is pretty damn dominant. So the Brewers sweep the Angels in the World Series, and we finish year number 1. As we finish 71-91, we don't make the playoffs, and the Brewers are your 2022 World Series champions. Yes, my score is 204 and nothing to be proud of. All right, we got a bunch of players on the waiver wire, so let's look at that real quick. See if there's anybody here we want to steal. Delvin Perez. Michael Chavis. A little bit of pop. No, we don't need him. What about pitchers? Whoa. A lot of pitchers on the waiver wire. All middle relievers that really aren't going to do us. Justin Bruhl. I mean, he's a finesse pitcher, but he looks better than most of what we have. Tom Cosgrove. Nasty curveball. Alexis Diaz. No. They're both lefties. They're both making the minimum. So let's take let's claim Justin Bruhl. Their first world champion. Yeah. They made it, what, back in, was it 83? Right? Am I right there? 83? 82. 82 against the Cardinals. Lost that series. So 4 straight. 2020 doesn't even list anybody for the American League. So the Dodgers, I guess when you don't play anybody, it's easy to win. So, all right. So the offseason has started. We are there. We are ready to go. Let's take a look at what we have to do. So Ian Kennedy option. Yeah, we will go ahead and void that. Zach Davies, we will go ahead and void that. We don't. Oh, that sucks. Okay. So our market size dropped. Our payroll is $110 million. So we're going to have about $20 million before arbitration. Oliver Perez retired. Our first base coach retired. Corbin Carroll's now the number 10 prospect in baseball. All right, so let's look at our personnel first. So, excellent, good. I'm willing to pick up a new scout if we need a different trainer too. I'm willing to pick up a new scout if we can find one that is, 83 Phillies, Orioles, yep. Willing to pick up a new scout if I can find one that's like legendary, Andy Favors tools. Like Leo Garcia. So, when you guys look for a scout, does he have to highly favor tools, or does just favor tools? Is that enough? Because if you think favor tools is enough, I'm going to offer a contract here to Mr. Leo Garcia. Your dad's neighbor had tickets and couldn't go. Your dad and his brother were playing at the park, so the neighbor asked my dad's mom if my dad wanted to go. My dad's mom said no, he's having too much fun at the park. Oh, that's like Good Will Hunting, right? He had to go see about a girl, so he missed Game 6 of the 75 World Series. That is a story. So do I make an offer to Leo Garcia, or do I wait? At any rate, we need to hire a bench coach, or a first base coach, I think, right? Is that what we need to hire? Yeah. First base coach, Tony Perez-Chica. He's excellent at those. All right, let's find ourselves a first base coach. Legendary Serafin Rodriguez. Sean Dunston. Let's bring in a Sean Dunston. I like Sean Dunston. Does he want to be our first base coach? Sure. Highly favors tools. Favors tools is still influenced by stats. Okay. All right. So we will not make a run at Mr. Garcia yet. Darren Johnson. Nope. We will stick with our scout for the time being. Do we want to make any other... That's not where I wanted to go. Do we want to make any other moves with our front office? Anderson, yeah, we just hired these guys last year, so we will continue to let them work through what we have and see how they can develop. So what do we have to do? Arbitration, right? Is that the next step? Yeah, arbitration. So Davies, Kennedy, and Peralta, we'll let them all go. Dakota Hudson wants 1.9, so we will offer him, save some money there. Yeah, Merrill Kelly, we are absolutely not going to offer him $6 million. We'll see if anybody's interested in him. If not, we will just non-tender. I don't know why I did that. If there are no regular players, there aren't going to be any prospects. Yeah, all right. So we are going to non-tender Merrill Kelly, which will give us an extra $6 million, which is nice. Eric Lauer wants 2.8, 2650. And again, the reason I make offers to all these players, an elite starting pitcher, give Davies a qualifying offer, get myself a prospect. Yes, he wants $1.6 million. So you're right, elite. Noah Ramirez. I think some of these bullpen arms, we are just going to go ahead and, like Wendelken. It's not much, but $950K is enough. Ramirez, he's going to walk. Caleb Smith, his ratings have dropped. He was actually pretty good last year. So let's see if the changing the systems, the way we set the Yoshi Tsugo. Yep, no. Okay. No, we are going to say goodbye to Caleb Smith and then Luke Weaver. I think we bring back, he's a fan favorite, high work ethic. I mean, worst case scenario, he's a depth pitcher for us. Wants 3.4. He's not interested in this. That's not a surprise considering we bounced him to the bullpen. Yes, I can get negative WAR for less than what they'll get in ARB. 100%. All right. So Christian Walker's another one that we don't really have any room for now that we've got Seth Beer and Berger. So we'll see if anybody's interested. I'm not averse to non-tendering him as well. We can get Trent Thornton from Toronto. Let's do veterans. Pittsburgh really wants to get rid of Tsugo. You can pick up Devin Marrero. I mean, he's elite defensively. There's no way Devin Marrero has 50 home run power. No way. No way. Throw me out. Yeah, right. I'll give you negative 0.6 WAR for like $50 a game. Count on it. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I can't shop any more players. All right. I think we may end up non-tendering Jordan Walker just because there's no need for him. 2100. Yeah, so the reason, again, I offer contracts to all these players is just in case they're popular. I will get fan interest bumps when they sign. So, which helps given that our fan interest right now is a 49. So... any bump I can get is good. Carson Kelly wants 6.5. I'll offer him 6.25. So we'll sim ahead a day and then take a look and see if... I don't think retaining his contract is... My nose is super itchy. I think there's something in my office. Which is weird because I'm in here every day and I don't notice it when I'm working. But when I'm sitting here, my computer's doing it again. The other computer is timing out on me. So I'm falling behind. There was a Reddit post a while ago that tried to estimate how much WAR a 40-year-old who hasn't played baseball in 20 years would actually accrue if they played a full season. How much they would accrue or how much... Because, if it's negative, are they technically accruing anything? Can you accrue negative WAR? Like, is that a thing? Accruing negative WAR? I don't know. Stupid ad. I gotta let the ad play through on that computer. Yeah, I don't know. Can you accrue negative WAR? I don't know. While I wait for the other computer to load back up. So for those of you who are, I guess, new to chat, and I don't know how many of you are in here for the first time, but my name is Aaron. I have my own YouTube channel, I guess like everybody in the world does these days. It's called Around the World Sports. Go ahead and check it out if you're enjoying yourself here. I've got an Oakland A's playthrough going on. WAR is cumulative, so you can accrue it negatively. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. That makes sense. So let's just see. I don't think that's not where I wanted to go. I don't think that even doing that's going to make any difference, given that the season's already over. I hate to give Walker away for nothing, but like nothing here is of any interest to me at all. Is there anything on the trade block? Nope. Yeah, I mean, I think the move is to non-tender Christian Walker. I mean, that $3.6 million we could put towards pitching, which is clearly more important to us right now. So I'm going to go ahead and non-tender it. So I cleared up about another, $10 or $11 million. So I think now, though, a lot of that needs to go in here. We don't need a $20 million draft budget, I don't think. I think we can probably get away. So the recommended draft slot amount is 11.49. So let's just go ahead and put that at 12. Then we can take this and we can bump this up to 16. We can take this, we can bump it up to 5. We can go into scouting, and right now that's 9. We can bump that up to 15. Will we be able to do that? Yeah, okay. So we bumped scouting up to 15, development up to 16. We dropped our draft budget. We increased IAFA. I think that's probably good. Negative 50. That's, I mean, I guess that would mean that person's playing every day, right? I mean, because you obviously you would never be able to be thrown out there to accrue negative 15 WAR. That's not possible. So, I guess that's assuming that person's just going to play every single day. Yeah, I mean, being a DH, I mean, I would probably drop, 2 out of every 3 fly balls. So, that's going to hurt as well. That's going to hurt there as well. All right, so we do get fan interest for Carson Kelly. Not much, but a little bit. Puts us up to 50. Eric Lauer signed his deal. Hudson signed a deal. We signed Sean Dunston to be our first base coach. Ruben Jimenez is garbage. So let's keep going. Negative. How is that even possible? I'm guessing that it was all before, let's see, lowest WAR in a season. The worst MLB seasons of all time according to WAR. We had Chris Davis in 2018. That was the year he hit $168 with 16 home runs. He put up negative 3.6 WAR. George Wright of the 85 Rangers, negative 3.7 WAR. Jerry Royster of the 77 Braves, negative 4 WAR. And then Jim Levy of the 1933 Browns. So who do you think it was? Neftali Feliz? Neftali Feliz WAR. Let's look at his baseball reference page. Well, it wasn't Neftali Feliz because Neftali Feliz was a pitcher. And he didn't play in 99. Anyway, what I saw was negative 4 WAR was the worst. All right, so Atlanta and Miami, Eli Villalobos for Bryce Elder. AL Gold Gloves, Keuchel, Barnhart, Rizzo, Simeon, Chapman, Correa, Gallo, Pache, Margot. And in the NL, Fried, Realmuto, Hosmer, Edman, Arenado, Simmons, Hilliard, Bader, and Alford. WAR also varies between providers. Brewers traded for Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. What are you talking about? I thought you were talking about in real life. Yeah, they traded for him 4 days ago. They gave up Buddy Kennedy, who was one of the players that we traded to Milwaukee. So they get 3 top 103 prospects for Aaron Judge, Buddy Kennedy, Sal Frelick, and Bryce Jarvis, another player that we traded to them. So they traded all the players that we sent to them, and they were able to turn Ethan Small and Lauer into Aaron Judge. No, good for them. How you doing tonight, Jaron? That is an interesting deal. Judge, he didn't have a particularly good season. 238, 2676. His contract is... Oh, man. That is a rough contract, though. So when did he sign that contract? That is a brutal contract. That may prohibit them from re-signing, someone like Woodruff or Corbin Burns. Brandon, welcome to, I guess, the live stream here Sunday night. I appreciate you jumping in and saying hello. You watched the first 2 You didn't sit through the entire 2.5 hour live stream, did you? Like, I can't listen to myself talk for 2.5 hours. I don't know how you were able to do it, but at any rate, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. See, Aaron Judge is a Milwaukee Brewer, and the Yankees pick up 3 top 103 prospects to do so. I don't know why I'm wearing these headphones. I can't hear myself in them, so I don't know. I think it may just be like a mental thing where it feels weird to talk to myself without having my headphones on. You play your save at the same time you had on. Yeah, I do the same thing. I find a video that's, we were talking at the beginning of the stream where I've been watching bushwhacking videos, like people that like go out into the woods and like build themselves log cabins and stuff. And some of those are like 2.5, 3 hours long. And I just sit in the background. I listen to them like chop wood and stuff while I'm playing my game. So I hear you. I understand. At any rate, thanks for jumping in here tonight. Appreciate it. AL reliever of the year, Aroldis Chapman. So the Yankees had the top 2, Chapman and Loaizaga. And Kenley Jansen is your NL reliever of the year. And then the Mets have traded Simon Juan, Wilfredo Lara, and Matt Ruddick to the Orioles for John Means. There you go. That's a deal. What do you think about that, Random Task? I know you're a Mets fan IRL, so John Means for 3 minor leaguers. Yeah, Breeze, that was. I mean, you're getting yourself in a position to be able to pull off a dad joke, but you have to be a dad first. So right now it's just a little off. Platinum Stick, I didn't change the names, but whatever. Sean Murphy, Vlad, Altuve, Ramirez, Bichette, Kirilloff, Springer, Tucker, and Ohtani. And in the NL, Will Smith, Matt Olson, Jonathan India, Machado, Lindor, Yelich, Acuna, Soto, and Castellanos. Bad deal. You don't like, John Means is done for this year. He has tore his ACL, but AL Rookie of the Year, Kevin Smith, Spencer Torkelson, Bobby Witt, Adley Rutschman. And in the NL, Stott, Alec Thomas finishes second. That's nice. Bryson Stott. I didn't realize Bryson Stott was as good as he was. And then I saw a lot of his highlights and a lot of the hype for him as the season was getting started, because he was never particularly good in Out of the Park 22. But game seems to like him here. You call them cricket jokes. Oh, I get it, because you hear crickets after you tell them. Yeah, I hear you, man. I get plenty of those here. Dad jokes are one and the same, though. You get kind of a lot of goofy looks and lack of responses to dad jokes as well. Dusty Baker is your AL Manager of the Year, and Dave Roberts in the NL. Greg Perez, a 16-year-old who is terrible. Why even get emails like this? Or not even why get emails like this, but why would our scout come to us and say, hey, this guy's interesting? I mean, what about this says interesting to you? I don't know. The majority of those tend to be pretty garbage. You never realized it was Stott. You thought it was Scott. Yeah, it's Stott. Bryson Stott. Stott. AL Cy Young winner Shane Bieber. In the NL, Corbin Burns. There's Brandon Woodruff finishing second. Zach Gallen finished third. Oops. All right, well, shit happens, I guess. That's not good. All right, so Houston has traded Pedro Leon and Josu Payano to the Yankees for Chad Green. So the Yankees loading up on prospects here. All right, Yankees loading up on prospects. And your MVPs. Probably Ohtani and Soto. Shocker. Ohtani and Soto. So he was 10-6. He struck out. He was worth 4.4 WAR as a pitcher. He was worth 10.1 WAR between his pitching and his hitting in this one. Holy crap. And they're paying him $5.5 million. That is crazy. And then Juan Soto is the NL MVP. Seattle and Houston. Diego Castillo and Christian Cardozo for Corey Lee. Okay. Well, that's a pretty good deal for Houston, I think. Castillo's pretty good. Corey Lee's kind of meh. All right. And we got a couple of days. We get to arbitration. We get to the free agents. Like to change up. Yeah, I guess if, I wish there was a way to tell your scout to look for international players that had a certain skill set. Like if you could take scouting and bump it up to the next level and say, I don't want you to send me back a scout that is rated under a 30, that has low work ethic. I'm just not interested in any of those players. And so maybe you get fewer people sent to you, but they're the type that you want rather than continuing to get. Like, I mean, you're right. I mean, like this guy here, he's got 55 control. But even this, he's only a half star. So he may, who knows what he'll be with 35 stuff, 35 movement, 55 control. But I'd like to be able to tell my scout specifically what it is I'm looking for. I think that would add kind of some flavor to the scouting rather than sending you 35 1 and half star style players. So we had one player going to arbitration. That was Weaver, I believe. Yep, he's going to receive 3.4. He wanted 3.8, so we win that. We get free agents. So cross your fingers, guys. You can do that, but not on international stuff. Right. No, I know. That's what I'm talking about is international stuff, because those are the only ones that they go out and find for you. So keep your fingers crossed, and let's hope that we've got a good international guy here, or that there's somebody here that we may be able to take a shot at. So Caron's no good. Gomez is no good. He's no good. 22-year-old, maybe. We'll look at him. Yeah, there's meh. Nobody really there. All right. So Kershaw, Bell, Rodon, Bassett, Gallo, Evaldi, DeGrom, Navarez, Bogarts makes it to free agency, and Carlos Correa. All right, so what do we have for money? We have $35 million. So let's first things first. Let's bump that up to. Let's bump that up to 8. Oh, let's bump it up to 18. If we can sign a kind of a not a big free agent, but somebody who's got some fan interest, we might be able to increase the ticket prices a little bit more. It's somewhat representative of real life. Look at Jose Altuve. What about Altuve? I'm sure your point makes sense. I just don't know what it is. 16-year-olds all look like trash, but it's a numbers game. Yeah, I suppose. But, the chances of a 16-year-old with high work ethic developing is got to be higher than a 16-year-old with low work ethic developing. And I can't imagine that a scout would go and find a 16-year-old who's a lazy ass and go, yeah, that's the guy I want to spend money on. You know what I mean? Like that, I can't see that happening in real life. I mean, I could be wrong, but I can't see that happening in real life. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what it's going to cost. Yeah, that's gross. Like up and down the board. That's so much money for some of these players. Like I would have loved to have brought in Xander Bogaerts or Nathan Eovaldi. But I mean, Eovaldi's not terrible at $22 million, but I don't know that we're at a point where bringing in a 32-year-old starter is what's best for our team. If you have a 16-year-old who can throw a change at 30 current grade that's better than 90% of all relief pitchers, Altuve cannot get scouts to look at him. They all thought he had no potential, and he signed for like $15K. Yeah, I mean, there are always stories of players that are going to outwork their potential. But if you have, like, very rarely do you hear of a player who is lazy who also becomes a superstar out of nowhere. You know, like, that doesn't happen very often. All right, so if we look at our team, let's start with our pitching staff. I mean, we have like 8 starters on our roster, right? Hudson, Lauer, Martin, Henry, Small, Weaver, Uceta, and Bumgarner. So we have a ton of starters. None of them are any good. We have a ton of starters. So pitching, we can make a run at anything. Offensively, do we have anybody? I guess we'll call Beer back up, and we will call Hummel back up. I'm just going to put all the players on the big league roster that I think will be there next season, just to kind of give us an idea. So Beer and Berger at first. Beer and Berger at first. There you go. You got Berger and Beer at first base. That works for me. Marte at second, although I may look to see what we can get for him. Drew Ellis is a terrible option at third. That's kind of the reason I was looking at Bogaerts. But at $32 million, that's not worth it. We don't need an outfielder. I think we're set in the outfield with McCarthy, Thomas, Varsho, Luplow. I mean, really, other than that, our entire infield could use an upgrade if we choose not to trade Marte. If we choose to trade Marte, and then pitching. So let's see. Let's just take a look. And we're going to start with multi-prospects. That's multiplayer. That's not what I wanted, but that's okay. See if we get anything of note here. No, these are all going to be awful deals. Houston wants to send us a couple of starters. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking on McCullers and Valdez, but that's $20 million. Yasmani Grandal, Javi Baez, that doesn't help us. Severino and Stanton. Nope. Well, he was a bad option this sim. When I simmed the first time, he was having a great. He hit like 350 with 25 home runs in the first 20 games of the year. When I simmed through the second time, it was terrible. So what's your point? Yeah, these multi-prospect packages aren't working. Or I'd say they're working, but we're not getting any interesting options. So let's do prospects and regulars. Yeah, we're going to get some options here. The question is, are any of them worth our time? Like, ideally, we get ourselves a young starter. Seiya Suzuki didn't have a particularly good season. Jeff McNeil, no, that's a sideways move. Well, that's disappointing. That is very disappointing. Really? Okay. So nobody wants Ketel Marte. What if we retained half his contract? Wow. That's interesting. Thought for sure that there would be some interest in Marte. Tyler Mahle. 60 stuff, 50 movement, 50 control. He signed to a 3-year. It's not terrible. I mean, if these are the kinds of offers we're going to get, we're better off just holding on to him, really. Suzuki had a 150. Did he really? Oh, he only played 52 games. I didn't even notice that. Holy crap, he only played 52 games. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, he was pretty good. His ratings aren't fantastic. I mean, we have him scouted as low, so, I guess let's get a scouting report. But, he's still, at 28 years old, that's a sideways move for us. Pablo Lopez we could get. No. We really need pitching, but I don't know that getting a slightly above average pitcher is the return we want for potentially our best player. Go after Correa, give him an opt-out after 2 years. Do we have enough money for Correa? $35 million. I mean, I guess technically we have enough money for Correa. Is he worth $35 million even with a 2-year opt-out? I mean, I question that. I mean, yeah, he put up 6 WAR, but I don't even know. I don't know if he's worth that. Ryan McMahon. Yeah, I mean, my issue with trading for someone like McMahon is again, it's a sideways move. It's, I mean, we're downgrading at second to upgrade at third, which is, the upgrade at third is great, but I mean, so what? You know what I mean? Like his contract is basically the same. So we're upgrading at one position and downgrading at another. If I'm going to downgrade at second, I want to get an upgrade, an upgrade where it's critical for us to upgrade, which is the pitching staff. 6 WAR and he didn't, or 6. Marte's 28, 29, so he's a year or two old. He's 2 years older than McMahon. Do we try something like going after Correa and then potentially trading Marte for a pitcher? Like if we traded Marte for Lopez and tried to Lopez wasn't all that good, but trade Marte for anybody, any of these players, McCullers or Marte or, whatever. And then try to go after Correa that uses our money, gives us a little bit back if we can trade Marte for a pitcher who's making less. And that might not be a terrible idea. Logan Webb at 4.8 ARB. I mean, that might not be a bad deal. Like, see if we can get Webb plus for Ketel Marte and see if we can sign Correa. Well, let's talk to him. So 7 years, $28 million. We can't give him 35. We can't give him 35. Look at all of the free agent third basemen first. I think the best option at third base was Bogarts. My phone's ringing. Sorry. Bogarts is the best option at third. I guess let's just do it this way. You got Muncy, Bogarts, Adrianza, Kike Hernandez, Will Myers, Jace Peterson, Segura. Yeah, there's not a lot here. And if we end up picking up somebody like Correa, we're not going to have a lot of money. Tons of money to tie up when you need pitching. Yeah, I know. And that's kind of why I was thinking, like, maybe we take, if we're able to sign one of these bigger free agents, we can then trade Marte for Webb. Because Marte this year is making 11.5 this year. Webb's ARB number was only 4.5, so we get like $7 million back from that, and he immediately becomes our ace. Like, that's kind of the way I'm leaning, and he's only 26. That's kind of the way I'm leaning here. Is to see what we can do with Marte and Webb, and then spend some of that money on Correa and potentially find a cheaper third baseman who, maybe he can't hit, but maybe he's really good defensively or something like that. Yeah, there's not a lot here in terms of third baseman. It really looks like it's because Bogarts is a third baseman at this point in the game. So let's start with that deal with the Giants, and let's see what we can do here, because maybe we can get a third baseman from them as well. So Logan Webb, Ketel Marte. Giants are over budget. Okay, so how much do we have to retain for them to be under? Actually, I would rather just give them cash. Okay, so they need more time, but they just want anything. So if we just did like that, that would work. Take another. There's not a ton on the trade block right now. There won't be until the winter meetings. Tony Kemp is on the trade block. He's okay. He's not really a third baseman though. Ian Happ. What are his infield ratings? Yeah, he's not really a third baseman either. Patrick Wisdom's got some power. He's not really a third baseman. Yeah, not a lot there. So, who do they have? Could we get a Thairo Estrada from? I doubt it. Given that he put up 3 WAR last year. Yeah. I would love to be able to. Luke Williams, 26 years old. He's not really a third baseman either. I got Luciano, who they would never give up. They have the top 2 prospects in baseball. Matos is the number 1 prospect, and Luciano is the number 2 prospect. If we look at our team, that's not us. This is us. Right now, our starting shortstop is Perdomo. He could move over to third base. He wouldn't be a power hitting third baseman, but he could play third base. His ratings, he's got the range, he's got the arm to play third, so he could play third. So do we move Perdomo to third and make a run at Correa? That seems reasonable. Because I think from a pitching perspective, it's like DeGrom and, a bunch of, I don't want to say drag, but no one that I want to break the bank on. Chris Bassett's okay. Evaldi's okay, but nobody that I really want to spend a ton of money on. Yeah. I think maybe we make a run at Correa here. So let's talk to Carlos Correa. All right. So he wants 7 years at $35 million, which I certainly can't do. So let's drop this to 5. Give him an opt out after year 2. Is he interested in something like this at all? Go for Baez at a lower price? He's interested in that. That would eat up a lot of our money this year. Was Javi Baez a free agent? Did I just not see that? Oh, he was showing up on the trade block, right? When I was offering up Marte. So we go to Detroit. I don't know. I mean, $22 million for Javi Baez or 30 for Correa, who put up almost twice the WAR, is a better defensive player and a better hitter. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about this? 30 million, 32 and a half, player opt out, then 32, 30, and 27 and a half, which is a player option. Takes him to his 32 season, gives him the opt out at age 29. He would be our number 3 hitter and our starting shortstop. I feel like I'm okay with this. This doesn't feel like it's too long a deal. This would give us a pretty substantial fan interest bump as well. What am I hoping to accomplish in the next 2 seasons? I am hoping to improve fan interest and build up the team. I mean, the issue is that if this was real life, I could take the time to build up the minor leagues and I could suffer for a couple of years, but that makes for a boring YouTube video when we're just no good year after year after year. So I feel like replacing Marte in the lineup with Correa and then moving Marte for a pitcher makes us better in the immediate. I think that is what I'm looking to do. It gets us a younger shortstop because Correa is younger than Marte. And then if we can turn around and move Marte for a pitcher, that improves our pitching staff and it improves our lineup. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at this. Correa is extremely popular. We'll sell tickets. It's a lot of money for a time with a lot of holes. Yeah, but our lineup with Correa, I don't think has as many holes in it. I think Thomas is quite good. Jake McCarthy has shown that he is quite good. We have some players that need to develop. But what are we going to do with that money? If not sign Correa, sit on it and, maybe put $2 or $3 million extra dollars into our scouting and development. It's kind of how I look at it. And if we're terrible, I mean, Carlos Correa would have a ton of value, I would imagine, given that he's Carlos Correa. So I think I'm going to make this offer. Yeah, I'm going to make the offer. We'll see if... And before I trade... I want to see if he signs before I trade Marte. You'd wait for the free agent. Well, I already made the offer, so I can't wait any longer. So we will see what happens there. And then we will see what we can do with Marte. But Correa and trading Marte isn't a bad decision. Yeah, because I feel like Correa is an upgrade over Marte. And then Marte we can use to improve our pitching staff. And while that might not make us a 90-game winner, that may take us from 71 wins to, 82 this year. How do you develop weaker players in your main lineup? You protect them, like if you have a hitter who is, holy crap. Wow. The Red Sox traded Rafael Devers to the Dodgers for Jacob Amaya, Gerald Perez, and Miguel Draws. Okay, I'm not quite sure what the Red Sox are doing there, but Chicago and Tampa. Rowan Wick for Nathaniel Rodriguez. Let's see, Bohm traded to Baltimore for Rodolfo Sanchez, Eric Miller, and Ramon Urias. Verlander stays in Houston. Ahmed stays in Milwaukee. Giles stays with the White Sox. Kyler Fedko to Sam Howard, Mason Martin. Could you trade for RIs to play second? I could. Yeah, Random says that was a terrible trade. This is the Red Sox would get absolutely skewered for making this deal. Tossing it, you protect them. So if you have a hitter that is really good against righties but can't hit lefties, don't put him in the lineup against lefties. Play him in the lineup against righties. Don't stick him in the middle of the lineup. And don't be afraid to send them down if they aren't performing. If you call somebody up and they're not hitting, send them to the minors. Let them get some more. Because eventually you got to kind of, shit or get off the pot, as they say. So eventually they need to start hitting, or you need to find another home for them. But that's the easiest way to do it, is to sort of protect them. Yeah, we'll take a look at Arraez. He's not great defensively, but he might not be bad as a DH type, a high contact DH type. And then we run with Alec Thomas, with Arraez batting second and Correa batting third. That would potentially give Correa a ton of RBI opportunities. So that might not be a bad option. We got to do Hall of Fame voting. Beltran belongs in the Hall of Fame. Mark Burley belongs in the Hall of Fame. I think 200 wins is the new 300. We're never going to see another 300 win pitcher, so I think 200 is the new 300. I would put Folk in the Hall of Fame just for what he did in 2004, but I'm not going to vote for him. Todd Helton belongs in the Hall of Fame. Andrew Jones belongs in the Hall of Fame. Jeff Kent belongs in the Hall of Fame. He's not going to get in, but he belongs. Can Varsho play second? He can play catcher and the outfield positions. We'll take a look at him in a second. Abreu, Franco. Bobby Abreu, I think, belongs in the Hall of Fame too. You're probably right about that. Julio, I don't know why Julio Franco shows up in here. He's always in here as a first, like every season, every Out of the Park baseball, he shows up as a first-time Hall of Famer, even though he retired 15 years ago. But we're going to vote for him. Torrey Hunter, I guess if you're going to put Andrew Jones in, you got to put Torrey Hunter in, right? They're one and the same. I refuse to vote for Pettit. We're voting for Manny, and we're going to vote for A-Rod. I just don't like Andy Pettit. I know there's the whole steroids thing, that hangs over Ramirez and Rodriguez too. I just don't like Andy Pettit, so we're just not going to vote for him. So that's our ballot. Abreu, Beltran, Burley, Franco, Helton, Hunter, Jones, Kent, Ramirez, and A-Rod. Franco deserves to be in. That's why he's always an option. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right, so let's see if he is... It's still pending. Okay. All right, well, let's sim forward and see what we get. I can't vote for any more. I can only vote for 10. Can't believe the Red Sox traded Devers to the Angels. So if we pick up Correa, we then look at DeGrom. Hey, we get Carlos Correa. So we give up a third-round pick. That's fine. Carlos Correa is the new Diamondbacks shortstop for at least the next 2 seasons. Elite defensively. He's going to be our number 3 hitter right off the bat. Cool. That works. So we pick up Correa. So now, I can't vote for Scott. I couldn't vote for Scott Rowland. I'm sorry. All right. So now comes the time where we shop player, initiate trade. We go to San Francisco. We get Logan Webb. Okay, so they can actually take on the entirety of the contract now. Oh, no, that's right. I added money. Okay, so it was 6.7. I don't want to retain anything beyond this season. That's the problem. Sure, you want a 24-year-old also. Right now, we're at Ketel Marte, Austin Pope, and $6.7 million for Logan Webb. It might behoove you to look at packaging some trash prospects for someone the CPU is undervaluing if Devers went for that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to look to see who the AI is undervaluing, but that's absolutely something we can take a look at. Can we look at the Giants minor league system, man. This is crazy. Do they have anybody? They don't really have any young. I mean, Helio Ramos. Not that we need it. He had 52 home runs in AAA last season. We need pitching. That's why I need to keep reminding myself that we need pitching. That's really where our focus needs to be. He's the number one prospect in baseball. I mean, sure, we can try to get Luis Matos. Please stop wasting my time. Okay. Here, I'll give you the number 10 prospect in baseball. I'll give you Corbin Carroll. Oh, Drew Jones was our number one pick last year, by the way. For those of you who missed the last video, he was the number 2 overall pick. He was our first pick. Yeah, they aren't going to give us Luis Matos. Give him Clint Frazier and Miguel Andujar. That's a deal. That's certainly a deal. Ortega's not terrible. I don't want to spend an hour trying to kind of figure out this one deal. But I do want to see if we can potentially add some additional depth to our minor leagues. Oh, you wanted me to look at Varsho. Can Varsho play second? No. Absolutely not. Not with that range, you can't. He is a catcher and an outfielder. Our second base options would be Perdomo, Alcantara, and Yanni Hernandez. Right now, those are our second base options. They're not particularly good. Perdomo could play either. You know what? Let's look at free agent. Let's look at free agent second baseman as well, because Perdomo can play third or second. So if maybe there is not that we have a ton of money, but we might after we move Marte. We'll have a little bit more. Austin Barnes can play second base. Really? Interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, maybe that is our starting second baseman for a year. We're talking about bringing in a contact guy to bat second. Oh, our eyes, right. Somebody wanted me to look at. Luis Arraez, making 4.8 this year. 7.6, 9.8, 12.5. So he signed a long-term deal that's a reasonable contract. Doesn't look like the Twins generally want to give him up. Do you have any interest in Seth Beer? Oh, that's why. Because we can't afford it. He'll be blunt. No. Okay. Yeah. Arraez isn't happening. Hernandez might be a good option. Kike, yeah, he just wants a lot of money. That was more than. Well, let's first and foremost, let's finish this. Let's figure this out, because this. Well, if we making this move and adding $6.7 million in cash is going to. We're going to break even. So we're not going to have any additional money. We're still just going to have $3.6 million. So let's go back and let's do this. Retaining is the kiss of death for the CPU. So what can we get if we don't retain any of Marte's contract? I mean, my guess is it's going to be a lot of, middling. I mean, Marquez isn't terrible, but Yeah, he's not really good at all. Yeah, that's disappointing. What if we just do 25%? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Random Task. It's a lot of money to retain, but it's only for this season. So the next couple of seasons, as his contract gets a little more expensive, we no longer have to worry about it. Jordan Hicks is not a starting pitcher. Well, I guess in this world he is. See, if we retain, even if I retain 35% and we only retain $4 million this year, it's 5.7 next year, 5.8 the year after that. So I'm thinking just getting it off the books now is the right play. We go after Tyler Mahle. Pablo Lopez at 5.1. He wasn't particularly good last year, but really good control. Webb is the best pitcher of this bunch, really, I think. 60, 50, 50, and Webb had like 70 movement. I just wish there was a way to get that Webb deal done without retaining nearly 7. It's a Cy Young caliber pitcher. It really is, isn't it? I wish there was a way to get this deal done with San Francisco without giving up $6.7 million. I may just bite the bullet. 50. 4 good pitches, great movement, above average stuff, well above average control. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher. He put up 5 WAR 2 years ago, put up 2.5 WAR this year. Yeah, that's so much money to keep. Patrick Sandoval might be a good option, has a large contract, so the CPU might be in a hurry to drop him. He was with St. Louis, I think I saw. After adding Correa in Arizona, you probably want to start him as a ground ball pitcher. Yeah, that's the other thing. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher, which I love. If you watch, I think most of you guys watched watched my Rockies playthrough, and that one was heavy on ground ball pitchers, obviously for a reason, but who are we looking at? Where is he? Patrick Sandoval? I think Webb is the answer. I think we retain 6.7. And if we can pick up Correa and Webb in this offseason, I think that I would consider that a success. And then we still have a tiny bit of money left to screw around and maybe add, a pitcher towards the end of free agency. And then we still have some pieces we can move. Like, I'm not averse to moving most of our minor leaguers, with the exception of, some of the higher level ones. So I'm okay with this. So it was Marte and this guy, Pope, for Webb. So can we get anything else out of the deal? You want to give me Doval? Okay. Yeah. Another ground ball pitcher, 98 to 100. And if we can get Webb and Doval for Marte and Pope and only add some cash this season, I'm going to submit that. I'm not even going to think about it anymore. So we're going to sim ahead until we get a response. I'm almost out of coffee. Almost. All right, but we're there. We just have to give them something bad, which I'm fine with. 25-year-old catcher Nick DeLisandro, fine. Actually, let's give him 29-year-old Braden Bishop. Cool. Awesome. So Ketel Marte, we aren't retaining. Ask for Yaz. I can't afford. I don't need another outfielder. If I was going to ask for anybody, it would be an infielder. And I love me some Yaz, but yeah, it would be a. It would be an infielder. It would be a second baseman or a. Give me Luke Williams. He does not. I'd really like to get Estrada from them. Just because he can play all over the diamond. But I'm okay with this. So Ketel Marte, Austin Pope, Braden Bishop, and $6.7 million for Webb and Duvall. If I add Estrada, I have nobody who makes the deal work. So that works for me. So we give up $6.7 million. So we're not going to have as much cash in reserves, but hopefully we... the fans are going to hate that we give up Marte. Hopefully we can get enough of a bump on Webb that it sort of evens out, but we're going to make that deal. Okay, so we get slightly, and it drops by a lot. So we're up to 57, though, with the signing of Correa. So we've gone from 49 to 57 in terms of fan interest. We added Carlos Correa. We added our new ace. We added our closer. So I think that is a pretty good start to free agency. Have I ever seen the... I have never seen the inside of a Turkish prison, Timmy. We'll sim up to the winter meetings. So I think we may hold off until the Rule 5. See what sorts of things are available at the year are available in the Rule 5, and then kind of go from there. So let's, I guess, quickly look and see what is on the trade block now that we are at the winter meetings. It's already 8 o'clock. Ugh. Okay. So Luis Castillo is making $11 million. Jesse Winker, Matt Chapman. I can't afford either of those players. Although, there's our third baseman. We can't afford him. Brian Anderson. He's making $7 million. Donaldson's making like 20, right? Yeah. Kiner Falefa. He's making $7 million. No, thank you. Are you watching Airplane or are you just quoting it? Yeah, there's nobody there that I would really like to take a run at that we can afford. Severino accepted his qualifying offer. Paxton wants Paxton's making 13. Yeah, we got $3 million to spend, so we will just sort of hold off for now, I guess, and see if maybe someone like Hernandez demand comes down. I would love to bring in someone like Kike. He can play so many different positions. He's really good against lefties. So maybe if we can pick up a little bit of extra money here, that's somebody we can take a run at as we get a little bit further into free agency. What is our... It's this contract here, man. Like, this is absolutely sabotaging us. Because no one's making any money, so it's just, come on, man. Can we get like anything? Like, even if I eat 85%, what if I eat 100? Can I add a bunch of prospects and back people off? Maybe. So let's talk to the White Sox about Emilio Vargas. Brandon Pfaadt. I am good with adding pieces to this to try to get this contract off our books. Brandon, thanks for the subscription, man. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. With the Prime sub. Thank you, sir. I'm curious. Like, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just curious how much. Is it worth giving up Brandon Pfaadt and Cooper Hummel to save $11.5 million this year and $7 million next year? What do you guys think? Pfaadt is a 24. I mean, his name is awesome. I mean, the name is like Hall of Fame meme worthy, but he's a depth pitcher. Cooper Hummel would be our fifth outfielder. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give up Hudson, Varsho, Webb, or Duvall. So maybe there's something else we can give up that he would be. I mean, I'll give up Yepez. It's a good deal. Yeah, we can't. Anything less than 50%, and we get the overpaid veterans notification. Although, yeah. So it looks like 50%. So it looks like 50% is kind of the max we're going to be able to give up. And I think I'm okay with this. So we'll give up Bumgarner. We'll retain 50% of his contract. We give up a couple of 4A players. We get whoever this is, Emilio Vargas back, whatever, it's fine. But that saves $12.2 million this season and gives us more money to play with. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say goodbye to Mad Bum. Fans don't even hate it, so that's even better. So now we've got some money. We've got some more money. What do we do with said money? We have, well, I gotta go ahead a day. Wait a second. Did the trade not go through? What did I miss? Did the trade not go through? Better up my offer. Wait a second. I am really confused. That did just go through, didn't it? What is going on? That did go through, and now it's saying it's not. All right, well, let's add another day. Yeah, I'm not giving you Duvall or Webb. That's not happening. Did they just... What is going on? I'm super confused. Where is the man with the awesome name? I'm not crazy, right? Like, that did say that the trade was going to go through, right? Okay, so that he doesn't change things at all. Grab like a half-star guy. Here, give me this guy. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to move it, but that's fine. I mean, I can... You want Juan Yepez? This is bizarre. I mean, either way, I am content with this. I mean, it's not the 50%, but... Did it change? Okay. So Bumgarner, what else can we give up? Drafted him last year. Para, no. You want AJ Vukovic? Yeah, it looks like 70%. It keeps changing. Let me throw that guy back in there that was in there before. Where was it? Pending here. Oh, crap. What was that guy's name? A 26-year-old, I think. Okay. So let's start over. Emilio Vargas. Thank you. All right, so now there's a lot of teams that are willing to take on that contract. So Adam Ottavino. Vukovic. Tabor. And they would be over budget. So 85% is the max there. We are going to make this work. He is going to be gone. It's just a matter of finding a team that has some space. So they don't have any space. The Yankees have to have space. The Yankees have space. Great. No, the Yankees don't have space. So then why are you telling me you can take the offer? They don't have the money, or they don't have the space for it. I am super confused as to what's going on here. Super, super confused. Oh, wait, this is retaining nothing. This is retaining nothing. Holy crap. So these are all offers we're getting for players. Okay. I just realized that. I just realized what I was looking at here. Took me a second. Okay. Do we pick up a Ford Proctor from Tampa? Oh, okay. So they're willing to make the deal, but okay, I see how this is working now. So they used to not do this. It used to not, like, if they didn't have the cap space or they didn't have the space for it, it used to just not show up here. Now they're showing up here whether they have the space or not, saying, hey, we're interested in him. And yeah, all right, so okay. Okay, this game is starting to confuse me. What if we put this back up to 50? All right, this game is starting to confuse me. Not giving up Varsho. All right, so 90% is fine. So let's go back and let's start to add some of those 4A players again and just get the best deal we can and get this thing done before it makes me nuts. So let's find Mr. Fat. Okay, so that gets us down to 80. Yeah, Ranger, I like it too. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting them to say, yeah, we're interested in him. So at least it's telling you that they are interested in him as a player. We just need to, we need to make it work from a financial perspective, which is fine. Okay, so Vukovic, getting closer. Ugh, no thank you. Ugh. Yeah, it's like I add a player 5%, add a player 5%, add a player 5%. Like that's not great. I mean, I want to see something. Really? So I had the number 10 prospect in baseball, and you're not interested in that. Okay. All right, let's go back here. Anybody else with enough space to actually make it happen? I mean, the White Sox may be our only option, and it may be, it may be, 70% or whatever. So let's go up here. All right. So let's try this with the Yankees. Kelly, McCarthy. Yeah, God, Hummel I'm fine with. All right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere, guys. Vukovic. All right, so Joe Elvis, fine, whatever, I don't care. All right, so it's not as good a deal as the one we had with the White Sox before, but this still frees up almost $10 million this year, and it frees up about $7 million next year. We give up 3 4A players or 2 4A players, Vukovic and Joe Elvis, but it gets Bumgarner off the books, and I think that's probably a good thing at this point. We can't get this any lower. Like, if I do that and remove Yepes, I can't give up any of... I mean, Bruhl we picked up off the waiver wire. So I think we're going to go here. Madison Bumgarner, Justin Bruhl, Cooper Hummel, AJ Vukovic, and Joe Elvis. Unless, can we do that? Elvis. Let me look at Vukovic. Vukovic is actually better, so Yepes. All right. So here we go. 55%. We save just over $11 million. We give up Bruhl, Hummel, Yepes, and Elvis. We bring back whoever Lucas Lutage is, but we get Bumgarner off our books. Well, at least partially off the books. So let's complete the deal. All right. So now we have some extra money. Bumgarner's gone. We have $13 million. What do we want to do with said $13 million? I still think we get through the trade deadline first, or through the Rule 5 first, and then see what is available, and see if we can find a bargain as we get closer to the beginning of the year. Farewell, Mad Bum, indeed. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through the entirety of free agency, or the entirety of the offseason here. So we're up to $27 million for extensions, which means, yeah. So I bumped our ticket prices by $1, and our revenue almost doubled based on the moves we've made this season. So that's a good thing. One of the new, and he's got a high work ethic. I guess he's not terrible. I mean, he'd be a good back of the bullpen guy. So one of the new features is there's now a drop-down box for your Rule 5 eligible players, which is kind of cool. So we got a lot of players that I want on our 40-man. I need all of these. I need the pitching depth on there for sure. So Frias, and Weiss. Transactions, please. I think we'll just put them all on there. Anybody 2.5 stars and up probably just deserves to be on the 40-man. We still have plenty of room, so I'm not too terribly concerned about that. All right. So now let's get to the Rule 5. And we are picking 7th. Okay, so let's go to the next pick. Well, that looks like a pretty good start. Batting potential. And one of the players the Red Sox traded for Rafael Devers, they did not put on the 40-man. So he is now eligible in the Rule 5, Jacob Amaya. But I think, Bo Naylor. Guys, we could be making multiple picks here on in the 40-man. I think first and foremost, we go after Jose Rodriguez, though. We don't even think twice about it. Number 32 prospect in baseball, 2-star, 4-star, high contact. That is a second baseman right there. That could be our starting second baseman next season. And implemented the organization, but yeah, no kidding. All right, so Jose Rodriguez we are going to take. And I would love to get myself a Bo Naylor. Maybe. I guess he's not that good, but still pretty good. So we'll go to our next pick. And he's not even there anymore, so it doesn't matter. But, all right, so what are we looking for out of... I mean, he's pretty damn good. Oh, there is Bo Naylor. He wasn't there a second ago. So, do we need Bo Naylor? We got Herrera and Kelly. I mean, Herrera is high... I mean, he's selfish, high greed, low leader, low... I mean, meh. Bo Naylor is, I believe he's... Does he have the leader? No, he's the same thing. High greed. Johan Rojas, the number 64 prospect in baseball. Very good defensively. Eliezer Alfonso. I kind of like Darryl Collins, assuming he actually... I don't like him that much. Canario. We're going to look at pitchers in a second here, too. Brendan Davis has a little bit of pop. Can't really play third. I mean, he can play third base fine. He's not that good a hitter, though. Kind of looking for a third baseman here. Maybe we can scoop one up someplace. Rodolfo Castro. He's not particularly good, but he's not really any worse than Ellis. Andy Burns is 32. Can Amaya play third? Not with that arm. Collins will crash and burn. Yeah, probably. Probably. Any third baseman? No. Really? Huh. Royce Lewis. That's interesting. He's not... I mean... He could play third base. I mean, we could make him our starting third baseman. I don't know how good he'd be, but we could make him our starting third baseman. He was terrible in AAA last year. Was pretty good in AA. The contact is awful, though. Alejo Lopez. He's 26. Has some contact. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, he could be an okay third baseman. I don't hate the idea of picking up an Alejo Lopez. We'll see if there's anybody else here. Ronnie Mauricio. He's not a third baseman. I don't really think he can play anywhere in the end. I mean, his ratings were okay, I guess, but... John Kenzie Noel? Nope. Michael Stefanik? Nope. Okay, so I kind of like the idea of Alejo Lopez. Let's just look at pitchers real quick and make sure we're not missing out on anybody. Hunter Stanley, I think we're going to be taking him. Interesting, his defense potential is a 55 since his arm is a noodle. Yeah, I guess because it listed him at third base, didn't it? Yeah, that makes sense. Hunter Stanley? We need pitching depth, and he's no worse than what we're going to be throwing out there. High loyalty, adaptability, work ethic, intelligence. I mean, it's like the perfect personality, so we'll take him first. Burns, didn't realize he was 32. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be because of his bat, right? I mean, he hit really well in AAA last year. He was above average at third base last year. At least his zone rating is his efficiency. So we're going to take Alejo Lopez. So we're going to take 3 players in the Rule 5. Ronnie ends up being a great first baseman. I guess we could make him a first baseman. We've got Beer and Burger as our first baseman, so I don't know that adding another one is the right answer. So I think we're just going to stick with the 3 Rule 5 picks, and we will autocomplete the draft. So we get Jose Rodriguez from the White Sox, who immediately becomes our opening day starter at second base. We pick up Hunter Stanley from the Astros, and we pick up Alejo Lopez from the Reds. I think that's a pretty successful haul for the Rule 5. All right, so we have like $13 million, right? $13 million this year, $26 million next year. What sort of addition do we want to make? I talked about Hernandez. Has anybody offered him a contract yet? The Padres offered him 4 years at $10 million. I don't want to give him that much money. Talked about Donovan Solano as a 1-year stopgap, but I fear that contact is probably a 65 and not a 70 because of his age and probably going the wrong direction. Let's look at pitching. Are there any pitchers that are left that are reasonably priced? Clevenger at $9 million. Meh. Lance Lynn at $20 million for Lance Lynn. Are you kidding me? Joe Musgrove. Radel Martinez. The game loves Radel Martinez. I've had him turn into in my Red Sox save, he's turned into a 5-star reliever. And usually you can get him for around $4.5 million. Somebody's already offered him a deal. $7 million is more than I want to pay for him. Tyler Anderson, he's out with an elbow injury. No. Matthew Boyd, the low scouting bugs the crap out of me. An extreme fly ball pitcher in Arizona is probably not the best thing in the world. JT Chargois. He looks pretty good. Extreme ground ball. 55 stuff, 70 movement. Kind of like him. I would like to pick up another starter if we could. There's Merrill Kelly. Only wants $1.4 million now. Keuchel on there at 1.9. Really any better than what we have. Charlie Morton. No. His ratings have dropped. Pineda. It's 2-19 for the Tigers. 2-19. 2-19. Pavetta's out for 9 months. Joe Ross. I don't want to spend it just to spend it. That's the thing. I mean, we made our splash, and if we can't find something that I don't think will immediately improve the team, then we may as well just dump it into scouting and development. Let's see who's on the trade block still. Pitching ratings. Christian Friedrich. I called a game with him in it last season when he pitched for the Chicago Dogs. Jacob Barnes. Trade block. David Huff. 55 movement, 80 control, but he's 38. Brad Keller. Oh. Yeah, these guys are all garbage. Garbage. I wouldn't mind bringing in a Luis Castillo, but at 30, what's the point? So, yeah, I think we continue to just sim ahead a little bit and see what January holds. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight here, guys. We probably got another, 30, 40 minutes in me before I have to start thinking about work tomorrow, which I'm not crazy about doing, but such is life. And for those of you who have never been here before, my name is Aaron. That is my personal YouTube channel, Around the World Sports. I have a Oakland A's save on there right now. Had a bunch of Out of the Park 22 stuff as well as some other sports simulation. So if this is your first time here and you like me, I guess you can go to that channel and check that out. That would be fantastic. So all right, what do we want to do? What do we need? We need a third baseman, right? We still need a third baseman. Although, I guess technically Perdomo can play third now that we picked up that second baseman in the Rule 5. Poor Ohtani got swept in the World Series. Yes, he certainly did. That Brewers pitching staff is fierce. Do we care about Corbin Carroll, guys? He's the number 10 prospect in baseball, but do we care about Corbin Carroll? Given what our outfield looks like right now with McCarthy, Thomas, Varsho, and Luplow, do we care about Corbin Carroll, or do we want to try to turn that into something else? Jordan Lawler looks like he's getting a little better. Rodriguez was the guy we picked up in the Rule 5. I don't particularly care about Corbin Carroll, truth be told. Let's do that. Actually, let's do this first. Wow. Okay. So the AI likes Corbin Carroll. So what does that mean we can do with that information? Anything? Colton Cowser. Can't really play third base. Good bat, though. Good bat from Colton Cowser. Or potentially a good bat. Wes Kath. Joe Perez. He's not terrible. He's not great, but he's not terrible. Carroll looks like trash. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to move him. But the AI likes him, so we may as well see what is available. So when Neil Cruz is available, looks like a different player in Out of the Park 23 than he did Out of the Park 22. Good contact, good gap power, good home run power. Very good defensively at third. Doesn't have a great range, but he's good defensively at third. There are some options. There are definitely some options. Diego Castillo can play all over the infield. Nowhere particularly well. All right, so let's do it this way. Single-player batters. Cruz is a step up. I agree. I want to see what else is available from other positions, but I agree. Colson Montgomery. I like that bat, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't like that profile as much as I like that profile. Carlos Jorge. I'm kind of digging on O'Neal Cruz, but I want to see what pitcher options there are for prospects. We can pick up Antonio Gomez, good defensive catcher. Demetrio Nadal. Ugh, it's terrible. Why is he a 3.5-star player? Trey Sweeney. Nope. I'm kind of digging on O'Neal Cruz, but I want to see what other options are available. Ortega, Vasquez. All right, let's go here and let's look at starting pitchers. There's some decent options. I mean, I don't know if any of them are better than the option we had with Cruz. So far, it's not looking that way. Bryce Elder. No. Wait, what? Did that say he was a top 100 prospect? He's number 98 prospect. Braxton Ashcraft. The Pirates really want him because they've offered me now 5 pitchers and 5 hitters that they would do straight up for him. Let's look at regulars. We got 2 more attempts. We may as well use them. Colton Welker, Velade. Cody Clemens. Yeah, the Pirates really want him. So I think we go to Pittsburgh and we see what we can do there. I do want to just one more thing. I just want to go pitchers. Brendan McKay? No. Bruce Zimmerman? No. Wow, they don't want to give up pitchers, though, for him. That's what I'm finding. They don't want to give up any pitchers for him. The Pirates do. The Pirates. Can we get Mitch Keller? And, oh, God, Keller's terrible. What happened to him? No. All right, so let's go to Pittsburgh. Can we get Nicholas and O'Neal Cruz? Where is I don't think he's probably listed on the big league roster, right? Yeah. So they'll accept this deal. And we get Kyle Nicholas, a 23-year-old who has 3+ pitches, potentially plus stuff. His movement controller average. I don't think he's anything special, but O'Neal Cruz is pretty good. Step up from what we have. Can we add anything to that? He wasn't drafted last year. Andy Rodriguez. No, he's number 25 prospect. They won't give him to me. This is where I'd like to add a player like this, an 18 or 19-year-old that has some upside, potential upside, I should say. The lottery ticket, if you will. What did you give me, a Tony Blanco Jr.? He would if I add Bobby A. Top pick in the draft is not particularly good. Nick Gonzalez I like, but kind of low ceiling kind of player. Luke Hansen, was drafted last year. Hudson Head, no. I kind of have all these players in my head from last year, and the game, as it develops, it changes their theories on them. Shaylin Polanco. Yeah, oh, I don't need Polanco. Well, do I want Polanco? No, I'm going to stick with Blanco. Ooh. Did you give me Lonnie White? I like him. $20 years old, high work ethic, very good defensively, a lot of speed, good gap power, good home run power. You would want Varsho, Stanley. Nobody I'm willing to give up. But is there anybody I am willing to give up? You want Vukovic? Quero. No, let's just start with this. Let's submit that and see if we can make it work. Yeah, Carroll's not particularly good, so I'm not really worried about that. So I think we get up to spring training, and then we'll call it an evening. $111 million for Eovaldi, 5 years, $111 million. Kershaw, just under $13 million a year for 4 years with the A's. $42 million a year, $42 million for 3 years for Abreu. There's Radiel Martinez, 2 years, $13 million. The Mets and the Dodgers have made a deal. Dom Smith to the Yankees for Nestor Cortez and Roberto Chirinos. Okay. Trevor Rogers with the Dodgers. Chapman with the Dodgers. Wonderful. So they now have Aroldis Chapman and Taylor Rogers. Outstanding. Slater for Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery. Stroman traded to the Brewers. How much money do the Brewers have? Yeah. They are going to run out of money, and they are not going to be able to sign Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff. They already have $186 million tied up in salary for next season. Ugh. Oof. Well, I guess they may be able to. $132 million when those guys are eligible for free agency. So we will see. We're gonna delete all the messages. Let's quickly take a look at free agency and see what is left. He's got Adam Frazier, Max Muncy. Here's Hernandez. Still has that $10 million contract. Jace Peterson. Got me intrigued on Luis Ariz now. I would love to have him as a DH. So he's making what? 4, 7, 9, 12, 12. Get real. What if I also gave you okay. What do you guys think of this? Vukovic and Perdomo for Ariz. Ariz is 25, so he's only 2 years older than Perdomo. He's signed to a reasonable contract long-term. He's not a particularly good player defensively anywhere, but is a great bat. Could bat second for us, and we could just leave it alone for the next 5 years. I think I submit the offer and see what they... Yeah, like they can even do this straight up. I mean, I'm not giving up Thomas or Varsho, but if they come back to us with other options, I feel like, sure. Let's submit that offer. Let's submit that offer and let's sim ahead. So we got a couple of deals. Typically an OOTP standard. Yeah, he's usually pretty good in... So they want Duvall, Varsho, or Webb. Okay, so we're not particularly close with Perdomo for our eyes, but I didn't expect that we would be, to be completely fair. I mean, Dalton Varsho had a good year, but is it really... I want to see something. There's no way this is going to happen, right? So they'll take that deal as is. We don't have a ton of information on Kyle Greer, but he's already one of the best defensive outfielders in the game. I mean, his scouting is low, the chances are he's closer to this. But even this, I mean, this is a number 8, number 9 hitter, but great defense and great speed. So again, they want, if I click this, you get a pretty large return they want in addition to that. But let's submit and see what we get. Yeah, we'll see. I'll see what we can do. I'll see if we can add some AAA guys to it. So Pittsburgh is almost, so we can make this happen by giving them... They want quite a bit in addition to this. I mean, I'd be fine giving you Vukovic, I guess. I would almost rather give you beer. So Stanley's the Rule 5 guy. He's down to... Oh, wait. No, okay. High work ethic. What if we take him out? Okay. I'll add him in there. And then we might be able to add him back in now and kind of use that old OOTP trick. Correa, Rodriguez, Stanley. Okay, so it doesn't really change things at all. Frias, I mean, he's not that good. But I think I would rather use Frias in the other deal if that's a piece that we can do. So, can we take Nicholas out? Okay, so Cruz, Blanco, and White for Carroll, and then 2 garbage pieces. That's not a deal you'll do. I'm just, at this point, just trying to get as much as I... Who plays third base if you trade Perdomo? O'Neal Cruz. O'Neal Cruz would play third base for us if we traded Perdomo. He's better defensively, has a little bit more pop in the bat. So we would have Cruz at third, Correa at short, the Rule 5 guy at second, Berger and Beer at first. Our outfield wouldn't be touched, and we would have our eyes as the DH, which I think is a much better team than what we had this year. So I'm going to make this deal. Corbin Carroll and 2 garbage middle relievers for O'Neal Cruz and a couple of prospects. We make that deal. So O'Neal Cruz becomes our third base, and right away, I mean, even his potential jumps. So we'll request a scouting report. O'Neal Cruz becomes our starting third baseman. And the other 2 players are probably in one of the DSL leagues, I would imagine. Yep, Blanco. We will disable the AI promotion. And then was the other one in the other DSL league? No, where is he? He's right there, Lonnie White. He's 20, so we'll put him in A-ball. All right, so let's see what the Twins come back to us with. I'd be perfectly content giving up Para and another, 4A piece or 2 in order to make that happen, to get that center fielder and our eyes. All right, so we're almost there. So they want Duvall, Berger, Herrera, McCarthy, Kelly, or Webb. I mean, I'd almost be willing to give up Jose Herrera. So let's see if we can make this happen without any of those pieces. So let's do Para first. Where is he? Prospects. Is he must be on the major league team. Yeah. No, not that Para. Where is he? Frias. That's who I was thinking of. Not Para. Frias. Okay, so they would do it if we gave them a catcher that nobody likes, Jose Herrera. I mean, yeah, right? So Greer replaces Varsho. We lose some pop, but we get that pop back with Correa. Greer is elite defensively, has elite speed. At worst case, he's one of the best backup outfielders in baseball, but his bat probably plays enough. We get our eyes to bat second. He signed long-term to a reasonable contract. I think I'm going to send in this offer and see what the Twins say. And let's sim ahead. So a team's going to look quite different in year 2, but I think I'm happy with it. We still didn't really address the pitching. I mean, we did. We got an ace and we got a closer. Wait a second. So now you want more. Damn. That's not good. What about this guy we got in the Rule 5? Shit. Okay. I'm not comfortable giving up Burger. I like the power too much. Why did it say then? Because it's just out of the park baseball being out of the park baseball. Not that I expect that to make a difference, but I want to see if that changes anything. So we're going to close this deal down, and then I'm going to call it a night here, I think, guys. So, yes, they want Duvall, Berger, McCarthy, Kelly, or Webb. 5 players I'm not giving up. So, what do we do from here? I can give you Drew Ellis because I don't need him anymore. Yeah, I'm not giving up any of those players for him, though. Let's try that. Man, I really want this deal to go through. Picking up our eyes and putting him in front of Correa, I think makes a world of sense for us. Great. So now all we need to do is add Rodriguez or Lawler. That doesn't help. Okay. Do we have a prospect that we don't particularly care about? Well, I think we have Frias, so let's try that and see what they come back to us with. I don't know if this is going to work, guys, because I'm not really willing to give up any of those players that they're asking. I mean, Berger would be probably the closest, and I don't know that I'm comfortable with that. What do you think? Is it worth giving up Jake Berger? That makes it worse. Yeah, is it worth... Is it worth doing that? And we're starting to get to the point where, you know, the value coming in isn't worth the return going out. I mean, can we get our eyes without giving up Varsho? That's the question. If we can do that, I can leave Greer out of it. Where is... Nope. Need more. Oops, it's not the right. Damn it. It was. I mean, because Vukovic is almost as good as Berger is now, and he's only 21. I'm kind of talking myself into it. I'm kind of talking myself into this. I'm talking myself into it because Berger, 55 contacts, 65 home run power, is probably a better bat for the next couple of seasons than Vukovic is, but Vukovic is right there, and he's only 21. I mean, not that either of them are great, but, if we're comparing apples to apples here. And we've got power out of Rodriguez, 55 home run, potential 60. We don't have a ton of home run power in our lineup, but I don't know that we're going to need it. All right, let's try it again. Perdomo and Herrera are trash, so if you would trade Varsho and Berg, yeah, I mean, I would in a heartbeat. I would in an absolute heartbeat. So let's see, because we're only going to be able to add one more player to this. Almost. Damn it! So who am I missing that was in here before? Ellis? I mean, does Drew Ellis... what happened there? It's not what I wanted to do. Does Drew Ellis make it happen here? I can't imagine he does, but... let's see. Yeah. Okay. What if we just retained all of their contracts? Not that, I mean, it's a couple $1 million. See if that does it. If this doesn't work, we're going to make it happen with just our eyes, I think. Stephen Kwan and Bo Naylor to the Reds for TJ Antone and Alexander Johnson. Interesting. Almost. Damn. Okay. All right. So that's not going to work then. So let's... oops. Let's get rid of the retain. Let's get rid of Greer. The problem is I can't give up Varsho in a deal for our eyes, because if I don't get back Greer, I need Varsho in the outfield. The Twins are killing me. Let's try this the other direction. So they would do Greer for Perdomo straight up. Which, to me, seems like a no-brainer. And then maybe we can make the R-Eyes deal. Maybe we can make the R-Eyes deal without Perdomo. Random task likes that. All right, well, let's see if we can make that happen. Let's see if we can we get a... I can't spend too much more time on this. I'm getting tired. So I think we may just... let's just do this. Kyle Greer for Geraldo Perdomo straight up. I'm totally fine with that. Let's go to designated... I guess he's probably in the minors, right? Yep. We are going to request a scouting report. And we are going to send him to the majors. And now we are going to go back and talk to the Twins again. And we are going to try to get Luis Ariz out of you. We'll start with Dalton Varsho. So it's Alec Thomas now is the starting point. Okay. You wanted Jake Berger. No chance with that offer. Wow, the game really values Perdomo. That's crazy. Interesting. Interesting. Drew Ellis. Not a very good offer. So neither of those players, quote unquote, move the needle at all because it's still Alec Thomas. I don't know if a rise is going to happen, guys. At least not yet. Here's a 19-year-old. This negotiation is going nowhere fast. They liked Hunter Stanley a little bit. That doesn't change anything. Vukovic. Yeah, it's Perdomo. That's crazy. Elwood, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it is crazy how much the game valued Perdomo there. That was nuts. It also liked Herrera. No chance with that offer. Berger. Yeah, we're not getting our eyes. We are not getting our eyes, so it is what it is. But I think we make our minor leagues. We now have 5 outfielders, so we're going to have to sort out something there. Can Luplow play first? He cannot. So we have 5 outfielders, which isn't going to work. And they're all actually, maybe McCarthy. No, he can't play first base either. Now, Varsho's probably going to be our backup catcher, so maybe we can end up trading Jose Herrera. But that's, I think, going to be for another time. So I think we're going to call it here, guys. So additions to the roster this season. We have signed Carlos Correa to a 5-year, $152 million contract. $30 million this year, $32.5 next year. He's got a player option, and then $32, and then a player $30, and then a player option at $27. We traded for a new ace and a new closer, so we picked up Logan Webb to be our new ace, and we picked up Camilo Doval, who will likely be our closer, and we sent back Ketel Marte, Austin Pope, Braden Bishop, and $6.7 million to cover Marte's deal this year. We were able to get out from underneath the Madison Bumgarner deal. I don't remember where that was. It was right here. We traded Bumgarner and retained 55% of his contract and sent Juan Yepes, Cooper Hummel, Justin Bruhl, and Joe Elbis. So we were able to save about $11 million there. And then we traded Geraldo Perdomo to the Minnesota Twins for Kyle Greer. So those are the additions to the team this past offseason. So I think we're in a better place than we were last year. I mean, maybe we're a 500 team. We also added Jose Rodriguez in the Rule 5, who I'm super excited about. Can hit both lefties and righties. He'll slot right into the lineup at second base. We picked up O'Neal Cruz, who will be our starting third baseman this season. Scout likes him even more, so that's nice to see. So we got that scouting up to very high, very good defensively. He's got some good speed. He will be a nice bat in the middle of the lineup as well. So that is the team going into our year number 2. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. This video, I'll get this over to Chris. Well, you guys are watching it, so you don't need to know when it's going to be out on YouTube, but it'll probably be out on YouTube sometime tomorrow. And then the next video, which will be the rest of the off season and probably opening day, and I'll probably sim through April, will be Wednesday. So guys, I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.